Welcome to Sestra-Tainment.
Sestra-Tainment.
I'm Lenora.
And I'm Dee.
And we're coming to you today with everything under the sun from...
Just everything.
Entertainment. Let's just say for entertainment.
Entertainment, just life in general.
Just everything. Entertainment, the whole 9 yards. It says you're
the
up
whole
first.
Shebang.
There you go. So you're up first this week.
All right. So this week I want to talk about Pam and Tommy. I guess it's like a docu-series type thing. It's like a show. I don't know. It's good. It's
show.
It's a script. It's a dramatization.
Yeah, dramatization.
It's a dramatization.
Yeah. From far away, they look like them.
Oh my god!
They
definitely look like them. It's uncanny how much they look like them. But just like it's the story of Pamela and Anderson Lee and Tommy Lee's relationship. It goes back as like when they first met, where they didn't even know each other for 100 hours and they got married.
Oh, wow. 100 whole hours.
No, it was less than 100 hours.
Oh, less than 100 hours.
Less than 100 hours. Before they got married.
When you know, you know.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, when you know, you know. Goes into the whole sex tape and how that came out. And like, that is just like the whole stress of that. And just like, basically everybody's seeing it from the outside, but then just like seeing the show and how it's like really telling you how it all came out and how somebody just stole this safe that just happened to have their what is it? I guess it was like their honeymoon sex tape, whatever, that they had for themselves. It wasn't like anything that was out somewhere. It was in a safe, and this person came and stole the entire safe.
And in doing so, got their hands
tape.
On the tape.
Yeah, got exactly. The tape. Yeah, but I mean, it's so far I like it. The lady who is playing Pamela Anderson, Lily James, killing it.
Oh, okay.
Killing it. She is a great actress. She's actually been on a couple of things. But I want to say like most of the stuff that she's been on has been like British shows. I can't think of one of them right now, but I know she's been like on a lot of stuff. Where like me seeing her who she is, and then like going back and being like, oh wait, no, like I do know her. Like she played Cinderella on like the Cinderella adult shows, or like, I mean like she was in everything. She's in Baby Driver. She's in the movie Rebecca. She's in the movie I think it's Is she in Carolyn? No, she's not in Carolyn. No, that's another one. But it's really good. It's really good. I think that she does an amazing job. You got Sebastian Stan, who does Tommy Lee. Does a great job. Okay. Like, all the crazy stuff that you remember Tommy Lee doing when he was younger, this guy hits it, like right on the head. He's really good on that. You got Seth Rogen playing the guy, Rand, I guess, Gauthier, which he's the guy who actually stole the safe with the sex tape and went around was trying to put in, like, the porn stream.
Yeah, because I didn't realize, I guess, and I only saw one episode that you happened to be watching when I was in the room, but I didn't realize that it wasn't something that was self-released or that they were trying to make money off of. Yeah. I didn't realize it was stolen until that came up in this series. So I was like, okay, did not know that. I guess I was thinking like it was a Kim Kardashian situation.
Yeah, I mean, but like it's all of this is like Tommy Lee's fault, because Tommy Lee definitely could have so basically the backstory is the guy Rand was supposed to be doing some carpentry work in Tommy Lee's bedroom. Tommy Lee kept changing stuff, and then he was like, you know what, all of you are fired, y'all get out of here, I don't want to deal with that. So when then everybody leaves, the guy's like, oh man, my tools. He comes back to get his tools, and I guess he gets one of the workers who were there, I guess like a butler or something like that, to come and open the door. He gets in there. As he's getting his toolbox to leave, Tommy Lee has a gun pointed to his head.
Oh,
it was like, this is my property now because, you
have no rights and access to be here anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're trespassing. So that guy's just like, so I just like maxed out my credit cards to get all this stuff for you, because you said you wanted it this way. Now you're not paying me for it, and you're firing me, and you're keeping my tools. So dude just basically snapped and took his safe.
So he took the safe while Tommy Lee had the gun on him?
No, he came back later and took the safe.
So he came back into the house knowing Tommy Lee had a gun on him previously?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he snuck in the house.
Okay. Oh, snuck in.
Like he was doing some kind of intel. He was like sitting there, had like notebooks full of like when Tommy Lee left, when Pamela Anderson left, when like the gardener was there, when the gardener left.
So
like
he was determined. He was determined what he felt he was owed.
Exactly. So, and what does he get? He gets the safe that has sex tape in it. Yeah.
Wow. Now, one thing that I would say when I did watch the one episode that I watched of it is that they seem to have the, like almost the mannerisms of them kind of down pat, well as the, like, I guess with Pamela, the
whisper,
speaking.
Soft,
the
she's really soft
she
talking.
She kind of had that down from what I could tell.
Yeah,
so.
that's what I'm saying. They're really good. Like, the cast is really good at this. And, I mean, I think that... I mean, it's once you start watching it, then you get really get to know like the whole story behind it, and it makes you see it from a totally different point of view, because now you're seeing Pamela Anderson like laying in the bed with Tommy Lee while he's like holding her, and they're watching Jay Leno make jokes about her.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So you're seeing the behind the scenes of their relationship,
and then you're thinking like, oh my God, like that's so horrible, it's so stressful, like so. Nobody really pays attention to how stressful it is on somebody who has something so sensitive stolen from them and then put out. And then it's just like, well, you're already a sex symbol, so, this is just something normal. And she's just like, no, I'm not. She's like, no, because it shows her trying to get more talking points on Baywatch, and where she's not trying to just be like the sexual being. She's trying to be like, well, what if we try to do this and then I do this and I do that, and they're just like, yeah, no, we'll think about it. So no, it's just a lot into it. But like the stress that's put on them, where they end up having a miscarriage, and that just breaks them in pieces. Like it breaks Tommy Lee into pieces, where he's just like so excited he was having a baby, and he was on his highest high, and now he's at the lowest low, and she's at her lowest low. And so, I mean, so far I'm on like episodes, I think it's episode 5 or 6, and there's only 8 episodes in the season.
Oh, okay.
So definitely check it out. It's called Pam and Tommy, and it is on Hulu.
Now, is it still coming out with individual episodes? So they haven't dropped all of them yet?
I think the last episode is March 9th. I think it is.
Okay.
And that's going to be the last one.
Cool beans. Sounds good. Yeah. All right. Well,
what you got?
I'm going to talk about Wordle.
Okay. Wordle, okay.
I'm going to talk about Wordle because I was late to the Wordle game.
Yeah, I did know that. I'm very late to the Wordle game. Still not there.
It was February when you did the first.
I was like, wait, what is that?
What are you talking about here? I probably started. Maybe it was January myself. Like I was very late. I just saw that people were talking about it on like not Instagram as much. I think it was on Facebook more so, but just people talking about their Wordle and their score and whatever the case, their percentage, all of that. So I was like, all right, let me go look it up and see what it's all about. And so what I found out, just in regards to even researching, is that Wordle actually started by a guy named Josh Wardle, Wardle. So Wardle decided to create Wordle. Okay. And during the pandemic, he wanted to create a game. He's a software engineer. And so he wanted to create a game for his girlfriend, where he was like, well, they say partner, but I think in one article I read it said girlfriend, so I'm saying girlfriend. No, but let me clarify and say partner because I'm not sure. But anyway, so Wardle actually created it where it was like, okay, you're going to have 6 chances to guess what this 5-letter word is. So if you think of like hangman, but you have sentences and things like that, it's just going to be a 5-letter word, and you're going to have 6 chances. And if you don't create a word, then like QPSTZ, then it's going to be like, nope, that's not a word, so it won't allow you to go forward. But if you do create a word, then it will tell you how many of those letters of that 5-letter word are in the right word.
Right order, okay.
Yeah, so it'll tell you if it shows up in green on Wordle, then that means that it is
like in the right place.
In the right place in the word construction.
Okay.
And if it shows up in yellow, it means that it's in the word, but it's just in the wrong place. Okay. Right. And then if it comes up gray, then that means it's not even in the word itself. And so it's interesting. it is very addictive because what happens is only one word comes out per day. And it even has a word clock, so it'll count down and just basically it's like, okay, you figured it out. Like today when I figured it out, it said you have 4 more hours before your next word populates for you to be able to figure it out. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because I think they come out after midnight Eastern time. And so basically, it's just an interesting thing that he started off just doing this for his girlfriend. Then it was like, oh, well, we'll have some friends to do it. Yeah. And it was all free. It's still free, but we don't know how long it will be free because, funny enough, the New York Times has actually purchased Wordle from Wordle.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, not long ago, they purchased it for low 7 figures. So, he's a millionaire now.
I know, he still should have held on to it.
He probably could have held on to it.
He's probably like, all right, this is too much. I don't want to make up words anymore. Maybe,
I don't know. I think that, yes, it could be the stress of it. But the way I understood it is like he had the words already determined for himself through 2022.
Okay.
So he really didn't have to keep thinking of them individually himself. It might have even been towards the beginning of 2023. But then when the New York Times took over, everybody's been complaining that the words just seem harder.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, these words are a little more difficult. Because today's word, I can't say it because people are still playing it and all of that. But let's just say, didn't even know it was a word.
Okay. All right.
Did not know it was a word. And I won't even say that. I was going to say this is what it started with and this is what it ended with.
No,
but people don't know which day.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm just going to leave it alone. Okay.
Just leave it alone.
So
no spoilers,
anyway,
no spoilers.
But some of the words that have come up over the time of, because it's 5-letter words, so it's things like smart or pilot or choke or spell or bloke. Or, something like that. So it's all 5-letter words. And again, it's like it really helps you to figure out word construction because like if you type in the word, I don't know, let's say you type in the word smart, right? Mm-hmm. And it says, okay, R is the second letter, right? It's not in the right place on smart, but the R does show up. And then you're like, okay, it's yellow. The next word I put in, it's bring. And then you're like, oh, the R is in the right place now. So smart goes to bring, and now the R is in the right place. Well, you start realizing like, well, it wouldn't be a Q before the R.
Yeah. So you start, you start thinking about what letters would be
what letters
would behind it. Yeah.
Logically be in front of or behind this. What words would be with the R in that second position and an E at the end or something to that effect. But you would know it's certain things like, well, it's not going to be ZR, it's not going to be VR, it's not going to be QR, but it could be WR.
Yeah.
So then you're like, ooh, WR with an E on the end could be right. Maybe, but no, the T from smart didn't count. So therefore you're like, can't be right. So then you have to kind of just figure out those
it's
kind of
like
words.
It's kind of like it's like a super intense Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, without any
suggestions. Yeah, because you said when you're playing it, you're automatically thinking R, S, T, L, and E.
Right, because you're already thinking, okay, what are the vowels? Because a word has to have a vowel in there. So where are the vowels and where are they going to go? Or is the vowel a Y? Yeah. Like what's going on? How do I get this in there? And then, oh, by the way, if you have all of the consonants in there, and then you're like, ooh, I got to figure out this vowel in here somewhere. It's like, well, how many are left? And then you can kind of try to figure that out. And I find myself sometimes starting off with words that have so many vowels in them so that way I can almost knock out
the main ones
where they potentially might fall on the list, I guess, So those are kind of some of the tactics. And then I've even one time used a complete line to just try to figure out a word where I'm like, okay, I already know all these letters aren't in it, but I got all these extra letters that I have no idea where they go. So let me just come up with a word that uses these letters, and that might give me a clue. But then I'm wasting a line, to do that.
Yeah, because how many lines do you have?
You have 6.
6? Okay.
And the funny thing is everybody's almost a little competitive in regards to how quickly they can answer it. So today's word, like I said, never even knew it was a word. And everybody on social media is like, no, I can't believe the New York Times is doing this to us. This is crazy. It's so much harder now that the New York Times is involved in this, And so everybody was like, Got it in 6, got it in 5, got it in 3, didn't know it was a word, got it in 4. Because one person got it in 3, maybe it was 3, 3. And somebody was like, "Oh, you real smart. If you can get that in 3,
smart. Yeah.
And then the thing too is that some of the letters could repeat.
Oh.
So let's say that the word is spree.
You got the
SPREE. So you might think it's supposed to be something else on the end.
It might just
but not realizing that it could be 2
E's.
E's, it could be 2 anything.
Yeah.
So that makes it, or sweet with E's in the middle.
I'm sure
that.
there's somebody who plays that game who is just like a very psychological person who is just like, okay, I know, and they can probably get it within 3 each time.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people. I pride myself on the fact that I have won more than I've lost, for sure.
Good, all right.
So that's good. I can't remember my percentage right off the bat, but it's high 80s, low 90s, I guess. But I've only played a few games, so I'm not like as high as I probably should be.
No.
But I think I've only, actually, I could probably look it up while we're on this.
This is not going to be a game for me. I just know that much.
You know it's not for you.
It's not for me.
Yeah, I mean, what it does is it just truly does make your brain think. I guess that's the easiest way to try to describe it. But when I go to share, okay, so I'm at 86% of wins. So I've played 14 games. So that's not a lot.
But still.
But 86% of the time I get it. And my streak of playing games in a row, because then I forget about it and I don't even play it every day. But it was 4 days in a row that I played it. Yeah. So I am not a Wordle
You're not a Wordle
aficionado, nor
connoisseur.
am I a Wordle, fanatic, because I sometimes don't even think about it, and I'll just scroll through something and somebody's showing their Wordle score,
and you're like,
let me go back and play that. Let me go do it. So anyway, but yeah, I'm not saying I'm the best at it by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm doing all right. Yeah. So anyway, so that's what I wanted to talk about, Wordle. So it also goes to show that if you apply yourself, you could be doing something completely for fun.
Yeah.
And then when the word gets out about it, next thing you know, you're a millionaire. Like this guy literally went from being a software engineer to, and they said it's low 700s that he received, but low 700, I mean 700s,
seven
digits that he received, but low 7 digits could be $9 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's not in the double digits, it's not 8 digits, could be 3 million.
I mean,
that could be the lower part of
you can still live off 3 million.
But it probably isn't anything to sneeze at. So congratulations to Josh Wardle for creating Wordle.
Yeah. All right.
That's what I had.
Wordle.
Yeah. Say it 15 times fast.
That's okay. I will pass on that. All right, so mine I want to bring up is this Ukraine grandma that's a G.
Ukraine grandma. Okay. Is she on social media?
Okay, look, she's not even on social media. People have put her on social media. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna play this. The person who actually I got their page. I'm using his page. It's the Steelman86. He actually added something onto it, which actually makes it funny. But this is definitely like grandma's that bitch. Okay. So here we go.
This will be a Pyrrhic victory for Vladimir Putin, symbolized by that Ukrainian grandmother who confronted the Russian soldier. After berating him, she handed him some sunflower seeds to put in his pocket and then said she looks forward to seeing sunflowers grow when his dead body lies down on Ukrainian soil.
Emotional,
But grandma is a G.
Okay, so if I'm getting this correct, grandma saw a soldier.
Oh, it's a bunch of soldiers.
A bunch of soldiers.
Yeah. You could look
at
it.
Looked at the video, but berated the soldier.
Yeah.
Gave him sunflower seeds.
It said put it in your pocket.
Put it in your pocket because basically you will die.
Yeah.
And these seeds will then grow and
It's
we'll
a
be
big
happy
sunflower.
to see the sunflowers grow.
I can't wait to see the sunflowers grow and where your body lays.
Wow.
What?
That I mean, look, she's
real.
I'm speechless.
Yeah,
I don't even know
what
to say.
And okay, my thing is if I was like a Putin and I'm invading a country, if somebody's grandma comes up to one of my soldiers and says that, hey, we gotta go. Pack it up, guys. It's time to go.
You know, number one, we have seen video and proof of them not even giving people a chance to say anything. I mean, you were just talking about last week where they're running over top of people in their cars. Yeah. So the fact that they even let the grandmother get close enough for them to have this situation with her, I'm like, well, at least that's a start, because they would have shot her down in the street. I mean, that's what it seems like they're doing right now. But, you know, hopefully there's some degree of respect and some degree of, you know, decorum, because right now it just seems like there's not at
I heard
all.
that, like, the Ukraine soccer team is, like...
they're fighting.
They're fighting. There's, like... There are people who are making Molotov cocktails made of styrofoam.
Oh.
So then that way the styrofoam, the little beads of styrofoam, you know how it's like all that static electricity?
Yeah.
Once it hits on something,
they spread out.
It's going to spread out, but then it's just going to stick. It's not just going to burn off like the alcohol would. Yeah.
And that's what the civilians are doing.
That's what the civilians are doing.
To fight against the Russian army.
There's another lady who's a great-grandmother who, like, the military is teaching her how to shoot, like, AK-47s.
Wow.
She's like laying on the ground and she's just like, I'm doing this for my country.
I mean, that's what they were saying. People are just taking up arms and protecting themselves and their families. And I was looking at something today and they had a father, well, they were showing a little boy on a train or a bus by himself.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
They were just saying that his father had to actually put him on the bus so his father could fight. And he's like, now he's just going on a bus with a bunch of people that he doesn't know. He's by himself. And the father's like, let me get him out so that I can fight. Yeah. But who knows if he'll see his father again.
Exactly. There was a man who his wife was in, I can't remember what country his wife was in, was right there on the border. But his wife was in that country and he had his kids. And he says, he finds this lady. He was just like, hey, can you take my children? And just take them to... where my ex-wife is, where their mother is. He's like, because I'm gonna go fight.
Oh, wow.
And I want my kids to be safe, and I don't want them to be harmed. And you know. And this lady who was a stranger, she was like, "Yeah, I'll take them."
Yeah, I mean, what do you do, right? Yeah,
Gosh,
that everybody's just trying to get by and do what they can and do what they feel is right for their country. And
exactly.
So I did see that Max. Oh, I can't think of his name, from Dancing with the Stars. He's one of the brothers from Dancing with the Stars. He was in the Ukraine. I think he's from the Ukraine.
Oh, okay.
And he was there, and the only reason he was able to get out was because he had a U.S. passport. Also. Yeah. I don't know if that's dual citizenship or something like that, but he was able to get into Poland, and he had to kind of basically leave
the wife was in Poland, the mother
was
in Poland,
you know, a way of getting there, because they said it was so much traffic and so much was going on that he ended up having to take almost 24 hours to just get to the Poland border, and then he finally tweeted that I'm in Poland, so everybody knew it was safe. And they even said Sean Penn, that he was in Ukraine filming.
Oh, wow.
And when the first bombs hit, he was still in Ukraine filming. And so he had to walk miles and miles and miles dragging his luggage because they had to abandon their car because no traffic was moving.
But if you don't leave your luggage and just run with it.
I mean, no, nobody was running. Everybody was.
But I'll be like, you know what? I don't even need to carry this.
No.
I can buy more.
I mean, but
I'm Sean Penn.
I don't know
Sam.
if that includes equipment and things that they were trying to, because they were doing a documentary in the Ukraine, it's my understanding. So maybe it included things that you wanted to bring back. But
I would just leave all that stuff and be like, no, we got to go.
I think I would drag my luggage. That's just me. Right, well, I don't know why, but I think that I would. But I mean, most of the people, like, everything was in like an orderly fashion. For the most part, there was some areas where they were showing people like getting on trains or different things like that, and a lot of, you know, just pushing and shoving and just trying to get.
I did see a lot of the pushing and shoving right there at the gate at Poland. I believe it was.
Poland, they did say that Sean Penn did make it there safely, but there's a lot of refugees that are traveling around as well.
So then also the thing is, it's like, so is Putin going to be mad at different countries that let Ukrainians in?
I have no idea.
God, yeah.
I have no idea.
Because then there's those countries who are just like, no, we don't want to be part of this. Are they going to like stop letting people come in? Because Putin's going to be like, hey, if you let these people come in, now we're coming at you.
Now we're coming after you, yeah. I don't know. I don't think that he would, but it's hard to say. That was another thing that came up today that I saw, that they were saying that they were testing, they don't know if he has any mental issues in which he is doing all of that.
Yeah.
Because the question is why? Why now? Why at this moment? Why now? All of that. And so they even had Nancy Pelosi. They had different people in Russia, his own people who voted for him. And they were just like, what is this about? Why are you doing this? Are you stable? They said that he might have had like a COVID, what do you call it when you have COVID brain or something like that, where you kind of just are foggy and you're just not making the best decisions and things like that. There's been a lot of things that people are saying. I'm not saying that I agree.
Let's invade Ukraine. I got COVID brain.
Well, I don't know what the situation is, but I think that some of it could just be making excuses.
I would just say this, like Jessica put up, shout out to Jessica, like Jessica put up on her social media. It's just like, us older millennials are not okay.
Yeah, exactly. We have had way too many.
So much stuff.
Once in a lifetime events.
Yeah,
there's been
so much stuff.
Of once in a lifetime events for people.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this storm is a once in a lifetime storm.
Yeah.
And then this moon was the once in a lifetime moon.
Yeah, it's like, once in a lifetime. Oh, this comet, once in a lifetime comet. Next going to be here for another 3,000 years.
This pandemic, once in a lifetime.
Yeah, once in a lifetime pandemic. Oh, the whole thing with 9/11. This is the first time the U.S. has ever been attacked on their soil. It's like keeps going and going and going and going, and we're okay. We're good. We're good. We're fine. We're fine. It's okay. It's okay. We're good. We're good. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. No, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine.
I don't think anybody's gonna believe you, especially if they can see how big your eyes got as you were saying
we're fine.
all that.
We're fine. We
started
are
twitching.
Okay. Yeah.
But so, and I mean, I think all of us are kind of feeling that, not just the millennials, but I mean, like everybody, there's just been this whole, it's an interesting time to be alive. Let's put it that way, because we have seen everything.
It's a sad time to be alive.
I guess it's all relative. You're going to have some people who are going to say, yes, this is sad and depressing and crazy and I just can't believe it. And then you have other people who are going to say, wow, at the end of all of this, like, I made it through one of the most tumultuous times ever.
Yeah,
like,
true.
How strong am I that I actually was able to make it through a pandemic, make it through 9/11, make it through wars, like multiple wars, because you got to think you had Gulf War, Afghanistan War, whatever's going on now. Yeah, exactly. So, it's like all of that, the pandemic that's lasted 2 years, maybe even more, because we're just at the 2-year mark basically now in the United States. And just so many different things that it's just like, and not even to mention things like about global warming and all of that stuff that's going on when they talk about, all the changes there. So it's a lot. It's a lot. And so, and it can create a lot of anxiety and stress in people as well. So I hope people are taking care of themselves.
No wonder that mental health is such a big thing now, because mentally, none of us elder millennials are okay.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people are realizing that, what you thought was normal has been tested.
They'll beyond tested.
Beyond tested.
It is the SATs. It is the SATs.
It's the SAT test. And so based on that, it's like you got to just stop and take a self-health check. And just say, am I okay? Like, am I starting to feel stuff welling up inside of me?
Or am I numb? Yeah. And is that okay that I'm numb?
Yeah. And I hope people don't feel like the stigma of therapy or medication or anxiety, or anything like that. Like, just take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself.
Just don't feel like you have to not be able to do that, or that it's a sign of weakness, because it's absolutely not. So,
going through all this stuff. I'm not trying to say like us as Americans and being elder millennials or anything has anything like to hold anything up against what's going on with Ukraine. I'm just saying, like, in general, it's just like I could not fathom being in a situation like that.
Yeah, where you're just at home and then a bomb just
drops.
Goes off. Yeah, and they said that they're targeting. That's the thing on Putin's commands, is targeting schools, targeting apartment complexes, targeting places where the most people potentially could be congregating. And I'm just like, it's horrible. It's just very sad, especially when you think of the fact that one minute somebody you love is here and the next minute they're gone because of the fact of something that you literally have no control over, and it's just ego.
Yeah,
that's
true.
all I can think of is ego.
That's what it feels like. Yeah,
could be more.
But hey, shout out to the Ukrainian grandma. She's a G, bro. She needs to run the country.
It's like
Ukrainian grandma for like prime minister, president. Yeah. I don't know whatever's over there.
He's on the front lines too. Like he's staying. He's
yeah.
Fighting,
See
so
there. That is the signs of a true leader.
Yeah, staying.
When
and
you're
fighting,
just like, hey, yo, no, I'm gonna be here.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, well, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Ukraine and the Ukraine grandma.
Ukraine grandma.
So I have something that I just stumbled upon on HBO Max called Class Action Park. And so it's basically a place in New Jersey called Action Park that was open in the 80s.
Okay.
But because of all of the injuries and deaths that happened in this water park, they changed the name to Class Action Park for the documentary. So it's a documentary that really walks through so much. Like they have video of everything from the 80s. It's like the 80s style, the 80s shorts, the 80s,
I feel like I watched a clip of like a trailer for this.
Yeah, so the bathing suits, like everything, the sunglasses being all big, like all of it.
Teased hair.
Yeah. It's the whole all shebang. 80s. So basically, there's this place called Vernon, New Jersey. And for the most part, there was this gentleman, and gosh, I don't know why I didn't take down his name. But anyway, he was someone who was a visionary, right? So it was just all this land. It was a ski slope in the winter, but then in the summertime, nothing really could produce any money there. So therefore, he decided, you know what? I'm going to turn it into a water park in the summertime. And so basically what he did, and the funny thing is like they even show a clip from Jimmy Kimmel was like, yeah, I've been to that park. My entire family got hurt at that park at some point. Like everybody got hurt there. That's what happened. You did. Like that was your summer. And so basically this gentleman, he actually created this water park, very hilly again, because it used to be a ski slope. And so what he would do is create all of these death-defying, for lack of a better way of saying it, rides.
Yeah.
And so what he basically was like, look, I don't want anybody to tell me what to do. So therefore, he worked with the New Jersey state officials and county boards and people. He would do so much stuff, give them so much money, do so many favors.
Just so he can
got on their nerves.
Yeah.
They tried to sue him. He didn't allow it to happen because he just was like, nope, we'll litigate. Like, cause he just had all this money from like penny stocks and all this kind of stuff that he just was able to do from back in the 70s and 80s that made him all this money. And he was like, I'll spend it all. Like, I'm just going to do what I want to do. And finally, the people were like, enough already. Just do whatever you want to do and leave us out of it. Leave us alone. And so basically, he ended up creating this water park. One of them was called the Cannonball Loop. That was one of the rides. It's a water slide. So basically what it is that it was a slide. If you think of a steep hill and you have a slide that goes straight down, then loops like a roller coaster, and then shoots you out on the other end, right?
Yeah, because that doesn't sound like a Jackass episode.
Well, the thing is that you don't, with this particular ride, you don't ride on anything. It's just your body and the water.
Yep.
So therefore, they sent what he did. He incentivized his teen staff because, all the teens work there, giving them $100 per ride. And then we test out to see what works and what didn't work based on each ride that the person did. So the first person went through and it wasn't enough water, so they got stuck. So then it's like, okay, we got to figure out a way. They ended up finally making something in the top of the loop to be able to push people out or to do what they needed to do to make sure that people could make it all the way through. So you had to be a certain weight and all of that in order to make it through the loop. But the issue is that even when you had enough water pressure, if you're thinking of going upside down in a loop, the velocity of how fast you have to go is such that you are probably not going to make it all the way around. And most people actually fell down at the very top towards the bottom and then slid down and then slid out. So at the end, everybody was bloody.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody was bloody, lacerations, but they got their $100. And then all of a sudden people started riding and they're like, I'm getting slits. I'm getting cut. Like, I don't know what's in there that's cutting me.
Yeah.
And they're like, there's nothing in there that's cutting you. Come to find out, they opened that top part. People's teeth were missing.
Oh,
and the
my
teeth
God.
were cutting people as they were trying to go down the
Oh, my God.
So that was just one of the slides that they talk about in this particular.
How many people
ride.
left out of that park with STDs and like, oh my God, some kind of infection of some kind of way? Oh my goodness.
But they were smacking their
Jesus.
teeth and having lacerations, bloody noses, the whole 9 yards. So then you go on to one of the rides that they had was, well, not even a ride, but they had like a Tarzan rope basically over some freezing cold water. They said it was so cold. And so what you would do is you would be on this hot summer day, you would go swing on the Tarzan rope, and then you would just fall into the water. Well, the thing is that the water was so cold that sometimes it gave people shock, and then they had to send people in there to go
get them out.
Because they got shocked so much by the coldness of the water. But also, some people would because you always had a audience because you're swinging and other people waiting or just watching the people who are swinging. So sometimes girls' tops would fall off and everybody start chanting and stuff. And then sometimes people would moon you. So as they're flying through the air before they go into the water, they would do that. So they were like, that was just like teenage hormones on steroids, basically, in that section. Then they talked about a ball and a ball. So that was a big metal ball.
Jesus.
That had another ball.
Inside of it?
Inside of it, on top of a PVC pipe. So you have PVC pipe making a trail, like going to the left, going to the right, just thinking of a little PVC pipe track. And then a big metal ball on top of said track. And then what would happen is the ball was supposed to roll down the hill and give you this feeling like as you're running, I guess, that you're like, and you would bounce around inside the ball, I guess, but the ball wouldn't necessarily hurt you as much as you would think because of, I guess, how they had it insulated on the inside, but on the outside it was metal. So anyway, they didn't realize that the metal would expand in the heat. So as it was starting to go down the track, it was too big for the track. It broke the track. Oh, God. Continued to roll down the hill, all the way down the ski slope, over the interstate.
Oh, God.
Traffic. Yep. And into
just imagine you just driving and then you just see a metal ball. And somebody's like, oh.
And then they said somebody was in it, the poor guy.
Oh, God.
And so they were like, well, we had to scrap that idea. So, he ended up in a swamp on the other side. And,
Did he live?
He lived.
Okay.
He lived. Then they have a zero
They just gave him
gravity
$100 or
slide
something.
that they talked about where they wanted you to take flight on the slide. So basically remember back in the probably 80s where you had those slides that had like hills to it. So you go down and up. Well, he wanted to make it extreme because he didn't want to have any rules and he wanted to defy the laws of gravity. So what he would have is you're holding on to the thing, laying on your stomach, you're going down the hill, right? Going down the slide. And then what you would do is when you went to the top of the thing, you flew to then land on the bottom again. And then you flew. And then you landed on the bottom again if you landed on the actual tracks. Because when you're in the air,
you laying
can't.
on? What are they?
The little foamy,
Okay. No protection at all. Whatever.
Yeah, you're just laying on
like
your
a yoga
stomach.
mat.
Yep, like a yoga mat, thicker, but like a yoga mat. You're holding on to it. And then they were just like, oh, if you survived that, you were like, yes, like, woohoo, I made it. Because everybody would be so scared because you're literally in flight for part of the ride as you're going. But everybody wanted the excitement of it all. Like somebody said on the documentary, they were like, look, it was the 80s. Our parents couldn't track us. Our parents didn't know where we were, what we were doing, or when we were coming back. So they were like, they didn't hover over you like parents do today. And we all lived. Most of them lived. So anyway, so then they talked about, what else? Oh my God, it was so many things. They had a way that the adults at 4:00 or something like that could go over to a bar, like I guess if you think of a Busch Gardens and you have the Oktoberfest place, so that you could go to this Oktoberfest spot and it was like polka and German food and dancing
just like
and
Busch
stuff.
Gardens.
Busch Gardens, but you get drunk. Then you start riding in the cars, which are like speed track little teeny cars that you would ride around,
kind of like a go-kart race,
like a go-kart. But they went up to 60 miles an hour. And some people would take those on the freeway.
Like they would take them on the
Just take 'em
freeway.
on the freeway after you've been drinking for a few hours. It's
I
like,
got it, guys. I go to the store to get some cigarettes and be back.
oh my gosh, it was so crazy. And so, long story short, there were
How long was this place open?
about 7, 8 years, something like that. And he literally could do what he want, to the point that the ambulance company for little old Vernon, the city, basically told him, you know what? We can't come there anymore. We will no longer come. You
Because
have to pay for your own ambulance service.
Yeah, because we have to be there. We're just always there.
They were always there. They
But
said
we can't do anything
50
else.
to 100 people would get hurt a day.
Good Lord.
A day, like whether it was abrasions,
Yeah, it doesn't
or
matter, but
whatever.
still, yeah.
But they were like, and then people were even telling stories about, oh yeah, I went down this one slide, and this particular slide, if you didn't do it right, your skin would basically rip off as you're riding down this thing.
No.
And so therefore, it's like you were on this like little bobsleddy kind of thing. That goes through whatever, and you could potentially fall off, land on concrete, scar yourself. So anyway, they were like, there was literally this room in this tent or whatever, and it actually would make it so that they said, okay, there's a circle, stand in the circle, and we're going to spray you with some antiseptic for every person that got scraped up.
Oh,
and then what they
God.
said is that if you could stay in the circle while we spray you, because they had to do this to so many people, you get a prize. So they said that they had this one guy.
If you can stay in the circle, what are
From
they
the
hitting them with?
pain.
Are they hitting them with like a water hose?
No, it's a spray bottle of antiseptic that you're putting on, like I guess an alcohol-based antiseptic on a thing. And then there were people, like it was one guy, they said there was this huge like bodybuilder, 6 foot whatever guy, and he had a scratch on one arm and one leg or whatever, and they were like, okay, let's spray your arm. If you stay in the circle, for both, then you get a prize. And they said they sprayed him for one. They said he turned into a complete baby. He cried. He was screaming. And then he was like, no, I'd rather you chop my leg off than have you spray me again on my leg with the other thing. So
was
they were
it
like,
actual antiseptic? Because, the guy didn't care about anybody else's well-being. You sure that they were...
Yeah, it was
could have been bleach.
It could have been anything. And, they just basically spoke to the fact that he just let everybody run amok.
But everybody loved it.
Everybody did it. They said the teenagers were basically running the place. There were no adults there.
Yeah.
It was like teen summer jobs. You go to work at, Action Park, and it's all fun and, whatever. But you would come to school from the summer and be like, oh, what happened to you? I see this mark or whatever. They were like, oh, and they were like, oh, did you get that on the such and such line at Action Park?
Yeah.
Like that was like your badge of honor almost, so to
that's
speak.
too much.
So it's crazy. But they said that the ambulances would have things like ripped off skin, broken collarbones, broken like bones, period, not just collarbones, road rash. The Alpine slide was one of the more dangerous ones out of everything. They said that there was one person who died because he got electrocuted.
Jesus.
So he was in the water near a fan. The fan had a short and it electrocuted him inside and he died. Then you had broken bones, concussions. They said, again, 50 to 100 people a day got hurt there, to the point, like I said, that the ambulance was just like, you have to hire your own services to take people somewhere. And then they even had asbestos all over the place as well.
Of course.
So that was
Of course, you got to have asbestos.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the cherry on top.
So basically, there was another scenario where a guy was riding on one of the slides down the hill, and you're supposed to, I guess it's like one of those things where you can hit the brakes or whatever. It's not like a slide, but it was like a little go-kart.
Like you
but
sit
it goes
on
down a hill and it goes around curves and everything. So anyway, he was going on the ride with a friend, and he somehow slipped off of it, fell off, and hit a rock 20 feet away with his head.
Oh.
And his parents get a call and say, hey, you got to come to the hospital. He's been hurt. They said that he didn't make it, number one. Because of that. And they went and sued the guy. Yeah. And they said, did he apologize? No. He tried to blame the victim and said, well, he really isn't. Like, he even said, I don't have to report this to the state of New Jersey as being a death on our site because he worked here. So therefore, when he would occasionally come and work there part-time, he's an employee. not a victim
guest,
because he's not a guest. So therefore, we don't even have to report this. And he basically gave them he ended up, I think, settling or something, but it was nothing in comparison because he was just like a complete jerk. I mean, for lack of a better way of saying it. And so basically, it just talks about how in the end, I guess it was so many lawsuits, nobody else would invest in him. One of his biggest investors ended up getting caught up in a big scandal, not like Bernie Madoff or anything, but something close, like where he was just doing a lot of bad things and all of that. And so this guy even got caught with having an account over in the Caymans or something like that. And so, long story short, Action Park ended up closing.
Yeah, okay.
And it was sold to somebody else who tried to make it over as a pristine place where you could go, and they removed a lot of the rides and everything.
They should have removed every ride.
I think they removed everything that they could, but now it's like just a pristine little area or whatever. But they were saying that had he done good by it, it could have been a great park, but he was just like, nobody can tell me what to do. I'm going to do what I want to do, and what I want to do is do things to define the law of gravity, and I want to do things that just push everything to the limit. He was like, when people come here, they know they might leave in a stretcher. They know they might be hurt. That's the whole purpose of coming here, is that you want to have that thrill experience.
If only it had like waivers.
Even with waivers, you'll have to watch it because
I feel like a waiver
ridiculous.
is like the only thing that's close enough to make it where you can't really get sued.
Yeah, because you signed this waiver to say that you're basically signing your life
I'm sure there
away.
are lawyers who are going to be like, yeah, but there's this one little stipulation and we can sue you because of this. Exactly. But yeah, it's like the closest thing I think that we had to that here at like King's Dominion was like the avalanche bobsled. Do you remember that?
Yeah, they did have the avalanche.
It was like going around in circles, and you could definitely like fall out.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, nobody, I don't think, had ever fallen out.
I thought they closed it because somebody fell out.
I don't remember hearing that. But this one was more like closer to the ground, but it was where you are in something, but you could hit a brake or, you know, and it would tell you hit brake here, slow down here.
But if you don't do it, then
But if you're not paying attention, if somebody had been drinking, like whatever, you're going to miss it.
Or if you just don't want to do it because you just like, no, I'm going to keep going.
Exactly. So, and then, they had one was motorboats. I forgot about that. They had boats area 2. They had little tanks that you could shoot things at each other. And so with the motorboats, they had it in a snake-infested swamp. So if you happen to fall off of your motorboat, because people would use them as bumper cars almost to like go against each other because you did laps and race, then you would be in the snake-infested water. And then the other thing is that the tanks, they had like almost how
these people could see my face right now.
I know. Your face is just looking like the side eye for real. And then the other thing was the tanks, which were almost like those things that go around on golf carts and pick up the balls. You know, it has little netting and stuff around it. And so basically, but you could shoot tennis balls at another tank, and if you hit that tank, that person's tank dies. Like it doesn't
cuts
allow
off.
you to,
it's kind of like Laser Quest.
Well, one guy decided to take alcohol, pour it on top of it, put fire on it, and shoot fireballs.
So now he's doing Molotov cocktails of daggone tennis balls.
It was insane. Like, I mean, that's why I said once I started watching it, I couldn't stop because, like I said, I stumbled upon it. And it was like Class Action Park. What is this about? It looks like a sign of a water park or some kind of park, you know, in general. Yeah. And then I watched the trailer and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to watch this because this looks very insane. And this is me trying to explain it isn't doing it justice.
Yeah, I believe
it is definitely something.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go watch it right as soon as we get already done with this.
Ooh,
I'm definitely gonna go watch it because I do remember seeing the whatchamacallit for it, and I was like, oh, I gotta add this to my list.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, your go.
All right. So my last one, very serious, very detrimental to a lot of Americans. The Texas voter laws.
Okay.
So today we are pre-recording this podcast. So today is March 1st, and this is the primaries for Texas.
Oh, okay.
So it's the first statewide election since Texas enacted this ridiculous change in its voting laws. So it's Harris County, where 40% of the mail-in ballots applications were flagged or rejected. And they've only been doing the mail-in just because of COVID happening and like people with sickness, stuff like that. You know, when you're trying to do your absent ballotees. But it's like the ID rules. So it's like you have to have your driver's license number or your social security number on the sheet, but it has to match whatever you first registered to vote with.
Wait, so if you move,
Like
it doesn't count?
No.
Wait,
So
what?
all right. So when you went to go sign up to be a voter.
Yeah, back 20 plus years ago.
Yes.
Right.
Do you know if you used your license number, if you used your social?
Well, you couldn't have used your license number because in the state of
back then,
Virginia,
okay,
we only had social.
Okay,
so
okay.
it's not going to match up. So is that going to be an issue?
So in Texas, it is. They had when they signed up, it was one of the two.
Okay.
So
You have to know which one
it is. Yeah. So if you're thinking, oh, I definitely use my social because why would I use my driver's license number? And then it could have been like when they went to go and get people registered, it could have been like, hey, you have to use your driver's license numbers because this is the new thing that's coming up or whatever.
That's the new thing that we're doing.
So there are so many people that have taken this ballot, has signed up, filled out all the information, sending it in, and then it's like, nope, it's rejected.
Oh,
Try
wow.
again. So there's this one lady, her name is Pam. It said it took her 28 days, 3 forms, and lots of confusion in order for her to be able to set this up for her and her husband, who has Parkinson's.
To vote.
Absentee ballot voting. Yes. And they asked her what she called it, and she called it Jim Crow 2.0.
I mean, it sounds like it. And I guess I'm trying to figure out who's benefiting from this, because if I am someone who is trying to vote absentee, regardless of if I'm Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Tea Party, whatever, like I'm just trying to vote, how is this beneficial for any one party over the other when the average person isn't going to take 28 days to look into all of this and do it regardless of their party? So why are they trying to make it so difficult? Because you're not making it difficult that I concede for just one side, unless they're like, because you said some of them get rejected, and that's where I was wondering, are they getting rejected because of the zip code? So therefore,
exactly, because it's Harris County. These are the ones that are getting rejected. It's 40%
of Harris County, which is mostly minorities.
Mostly minorities, yes.
So therefore, they're rejected. Oh no, we don't want to say that. Oh no, we're not going to use this one. Oh no, they did something wrong. Oh no, they put. It doesn't look like they dotted their I.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then, then there's a call center of people who are just calling, and they're trying to get their information from, I guess, I don't know what the name of the voting people who are like trying to get you to help you out to get like
the registrar's office or something like that.
Yeah. And they are like the lady who's the manager, like the supervisor. She said that she has like people quit every week.
Wow.
Because they're just stressed. They're like sad and they're upset because it's just like, we're doing all this stuff to help these people. Like, just imagine you talking to like your grandma on the phone and you're trying to like explain what's going on with these new laws, and she's like, but I've never had this issue before.
Right.
Why is this now? And it's like, okay, well, let's help you through this. She's like, I don't understand. Like, what are you saying? What is this number that you need? What is this? Why do you have to have this? So it's just, they were saying there's so many people who are just quitting and just like, this is ridiculous. Like, how can they even like change the laws like that?
Yeah, but they had all of the votes and the approvals to be able to change the laws to make it more difficult. I want to say Georgia was working on doing the same thing.
Yeah, Georgia's working on doing that.
And so,
shout out to Stacey Abrams for helping with that.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I just feel like, I don't know, it's just very disheartening to know that people who have been able to vote their entire lives. You could have somebody 80, 90 years old who's just trying to get their vote to count. And then you have people who at every turn are trying to minimize it. It almost goes back to, it kind of reminds me of that Larry David commercial where they had during the Super Bowl where it's like, oh, you want the commoners to be able to vote? Like, no, like only the smart people who are educated should be the ones who can vote.
That's
and
exactly what it's like, yeah.
But everybody should have that right. Like, if you register, you should be able to vote. And you should vote, number one, because maybe if everybody who had the ability to vote did vote, then maybe some of these laws wouldn't be in effect because some of these people wouldn't be in power.
Exactly, that's true.
But I digress.
Yeah, there was another guy who was on TikTok that I saw, and he was like, when he went to go do his primary today, he was just like, they come up to you and be like, so do you need the Republican or the Democrat
one,
primary sheet? And he was like, Democrat. And they were like, okay, Democrat, okay, got it. Hey, we need a Democrat one over here. And then they hand him one, and he's just like, all right, this is for you. And then it's like, oh yeah, no, that's an R, so I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to have the one that says Democrat, not the Republican.
Right.
And then just like, oh, okay, yeah, give me a second. And it's like, do we got a Democrat one? We got a Democrat one. Tries it again. Give him another one with a Republican thing on it. He's just like, guys, I just want the Democrat. And he said the people are just talking to themselves, amongst themselves, like, okay, we got a Democrat sheet. Can I get a Democrat sheet? Oh, you got a Democrat sheet? All right, we just give him this one.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if you did have the Democrat sheet. Are they even going to?
Are they even going to put
count?
anything? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So, oh my gosh! But you have to think of how many people just said, "Oh yeah, I need the Democrat one,"
and then just not even paying attention,
not
and
even
look
paying
at it.
attention,
and then they get in
pick
there,
somebody, and then turn it in, and then the next thing you know, here's your 15,000th Republican person.
Yeah.
So, oh wow!
But yeah, and this,
but I mean,
this was a white dude
side.
too.
Yeah, I was going to say, and it wouldn't be fair on either side for somebody to just try to manipulate, because that's what it seems like. I can't say for sure that it is, but it seems like they're trying to manipulate the situation and the outcome by giving somebody what they didn't ask for. And I know for the state of Virginia that they have the primaries on different days.
Yeah.
So that kind of helps, where it's like, oh, well, the Republican one is this day, the Democratic one is this day, so therefore you're not kind of in there asking for a form one way or the other. Yeah. But I know every state does things differently. So.
Yeah, very true. So, just wanted to talk about that, Texas voter laws. Hopefully they can get everything situated. So then by the time they do have to do their real elections, they can go ahead and get rid of some of these stupid laws that they have for voting.
Yeah, I hope that it gets better instead of getting worse, because that wouldn't be good at all. Mm-hmm. So,
but that's all I have for that. So what you got next, sis? Sestra.
I am gonna actually just kind of do an honorable mention, because I had mentioned previously Line of Duty.
Yeah. To the letter of the law.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, Line of Duty is my jam. Mm-hmm. And Chief Constables, all that. I mean, it's just so weird to me that being somebody who literally in my life has spent one day in London, like literally.
But you're so into it,
like some hours, and got to see the palace and all of those things, Big Ben, the London Eye. Rode down the Thames, or however people pronounce it. But I just love British TV. And so I have invested in BritBox. Right. So that it's an app you can pay for if you're interested or like British procedurals, shows
like that.
Documentaries, whatever the case may be, and I got to see the last season of Line of Duty, and I have to say it was great because they wrapped up so many scenarios. Like, this is the show that I found out about through a show called Gogglebox that now I can't seem to find anywhere on YouTube.
So
I'm
sad.
very upset.
If anybody knows anything about Gogglebox, just please let us know.
Oh my gosh, Gogglebox is amazing. I just need to figure out how to be able to see it in the United States. So anyway, long story short, Gogglebox had where people were watching Line of Duty, but they literally had pen and paper with them as they were watching, notebooks, because the way the show's seasons go is you could be on season 4 and they'll bring up a person, a crime scene, whatever, from season 1, from season 2, from wherever. And then lo and behold, in season 6, they brought up somebody from like season 2.
Oh, no.
And it was so much stuff from previous seasons and people who have grown up and different things that had happened that I was just like, wait, that is that person. Wait.
Yeah, you gotta go back to your notebook.
And I didn't have my notebook. I didn't have a notebook. So I'm just sitting there like, oh my gosh, this explains why so many people have notebooks when they watch Line of Duty over in Britain. And so anyway,
the U.S. is gonna take a show and make it something similar to that.
Maybe so, but I have to say
we take everything from it anyway.
Yeah, the attention to detail on that show and the way in which they wrote it and how they intertwined so many things like that, to me is just mind-boggling to know that, okay, we're starting it here and this is where it's all going to land. And oh, by the way, in the very first episode, we talk about this. And by the last episode, we're still talking
Yeah, we're
about
still
it,
talking
but
about-
just
yeah.
in a different way,
Yeah.
or somebody's related to somebody, or somebody's kid something, or somebody's whatever. Like, it's just
so much into it, but it's so good.
so good. So
That's
Line of
good.
Duty people can watch on like Netflix. And then the last season will probably be out there pretty soon for people to be able to watch. But I just bought BritBox just because I know that I am going to be ready to watch more British procedural shows. They have a ton of different shows that are really great. I know I had previous watched The Fall. That was one of the British shows that was really good. It has Gillian Anderson, I think is her name in there.
Scully,
yeah. So she's really great.
But
in
she's
everything
really
that
into
she does.
she's been doing a lot of like British stuff, and she's killing it.
Yeah, she's killing it. And in this one, I think she actually had an Irish accent or something like that. But
she's good. So
she can knock it out the park. So anyway, I just wanted to share a little bit about my Line of Duty experience. Great show for anybody who wants to watch it. And BritBox, like I said, is something if you really feel like British shows may be your jam. So thanks everybody for listening this week to Sestra-Tainment. I hope everybody has a wonderful day and week. And bye.
Bye.